Wild.
Just one of those days where you don't want a podcast. Everything is fucked. Falkner especially sucks. You don't really know why. Actually, I do know why. He fucking sucks at games. No human contact. And if you try to look at him, you won't be able to because he's so short and you have to look down. Your best bet is to listen to Sweaty Plebs podcast, motherfucker. Hey, welcome to Sweaty Plebs podcast, episode 6910. Yes, the 10th 69 episode. I am your host who did show up, and not a host. I'm the guest. I'm the guest of the episode, Mr. Dylan.
Oh, okay, sure.
Welcome, boys. Welcome back. It's another week. How are you guys feeling? It's early. It's an early morning
mostly
podcast.
Confused right now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
good otherwise.
yeah. That was a weird intro. This is episode 77.
Oh,
Should really look
77?
these things up first.
Yeah. Tell you a number about 77. A story about 77.
Sure.
It's actually one of the most depressing numbers for me because it's the number that Luka Doncic, potential Sacramento King at one point, he wears that number on his Dallas Mavericks jersey. Just a little basketball fact for you. And reason number 70 million why Kings fans can't be happy. You know what I just found
Okay.
in these fucking sweatpants?
Not
This
wrong.
is a cool story.
Wow.
I've been wearing these sweatpants all day and just now realized a fucking, what do you call these little dryer sheet? There's a dryer sheet in the leg of the sweatpant. So
I feel like
That
morning
That's
episodes.
not a very fun story.
Yeah, I feel like morning episodes are probably not our thing. I think we need to wake up a little bit more.
that's not, that's just a magic trick for the podcast, for the listeners, especially because, I did it off camera, but I just made that appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, sure. All right. Well, let's wake up more with some drinks. Let's crack some drinks open up at 10 in the morning.
Hey,
You know-
it's almost noon for me at least.
Yeah, and as I always like to say, it could be 5 o'clock somewhere in the world right now, so it's okay to drink.
You never say that.
You never said that. I also don't think you need to say it could be.
No,
That's just a fact.
Yeah, that's not the expression.
That's a Dylan
could be,
expression.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it could be 5 somewhere. Anyways, with my beverage, I am going back in time. What is today? What's today? Today?
Is the
What date
18th.
is
The
today?
18th. bud.
18th. I am going back 2 weeks in the past to the 4th. Red, light, and blue. Yes, that is right. It is a beer from Mason Ale Works. I think they made it for the 4th of July. I just found it. I like the can. That's why I got it. Look at that.
I'm into it.
See that? It's barbecue.
That's you're right. That is a barbecue.
I'm opening this now.
Okay.
Man, that tastes like straight Budweiser. It's just a light ass beer.
America.
This was a mistake. Hey, let's cancel the podcast for now. I need to go buy another beer. I think I paid like $6 for this one too.
Well,
Yikes.
sounds like a flavor of a beer you would have on 4th of July.
You know,
It's-
it reminds
it's a
me
cool
of
can.
America.
It is a
Let
cool
me try
can.
it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, America. Yep. Okay.
All right. Aidan, what you got?
All right, dude. So from I have no idea what this brand is, but it's New Hokkaido. Got it 'cause I like the can.
That's a
Yeah.
cool can.
Yeah. What are those rabbits?
No, those are monkeys, I think.
Rabbids?
I'm
That's
gonna
a
go with they're a
trademark.
mythical animal. Bada boom.
Bada
Kind
boom.
of like a rabbit, kind of like a fox. A little monkey in there. It is a Yamabiko rice lager.
Okay. I'm guessing that does not taste like Budweiser.
No, it tastes like a ricey lager. That's good.
Okay.
You know,
Cool.
it's a beer made with rice, so
People using the full extent of their vocabularies today.
Yep.
Yeah.
again,
We're,
morning podcast
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
the beer should help. The beer's just going to make everything better, right? Like drinking while
So
doing
I
this.
have 2 drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your other drink? Do two reviews.
It's going to be a bad combo. Rain Energy, new flavor, Lilikoi Lychee.
Ooh.
Here's a. That
I
sounds
am
good.
the target demographic.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's fantastic.
All right. I know what I have to buy for my road trip tomorrow.
Top tier energy drink.
Ever play that game, Rain or Rains or something? It's like an iPhone game.
Oh yeah, the one with like cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a very fun game, but I like the style of it.
Yep, agreed.
Never played it.
Check it out. Rain like a king.
Yeah.
Not
It's
sponsored.
interesting.
Not sponsored.
Possibly sponsored. We could be sponsored.
Yeah, man. I'm getting all kinds of sponsorships over here, man.
All right, I have something called the Super Shandy Warhol by Bear Bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Yep.
Look at that.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's very Andy Warhol.
It is a imperial fruited ale with raspberry, mango, cherry, and lemon.
Sounds like an Aidan beer.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it's sour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like an Aidan beer.
I actually I bought that one for your wife, actually.
It's good.
Yeah.
But it's sour.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, you want to try the sour? But it is good.
Hey, babe, you want to try the sour? Yeah. Please drink this so I don't drink it. I know that.
All right. Drinks are out of the way. Hopefully we're waking up a little bit more. Dylan, what have you been playing this week? Oh, also, I forgot to mention, we have a guest today because it's a special PC episode.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, you can talk whenever you want. We
Yeah,
won't introduce you at all.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My name's Andrew. I'm drinking Costco alkaline water with liquid IV green matcha. Trying to not feel like so garbage as early in the morning. Yeah.
Would you like to know a liquid IV story? It's not very.
Hit me up. I don't feel like I have a choice here, but
yeah,
go ahead,
I feel like this is not a question. This is
yeah.
No,
this is.
This
I
question...
have a story about liquid IV. Please listen to it.
Well, I immediately need to backtrack because it's not about liquid IV.
Jesus Christ.
It's about a powder substance that you put in water, similar to liquid IV. I got some fruit berry. What's that shit called? Fruit punch. I got some fruit punch in a powder form. Oh man, this is early. Soda Stream. Put it in. Worst story of all time. Oh man.
Yeah, drink more.
Long story short, I fucking exploded my Soda Stream fruit punch bottle yesterday, and made a huge mess in my kitchen. Falkner was there.
That's rough, man.
He wasn't there. I told him though.
Yes. All right, Dylan, what have you been playing this week? Tell me about the games you've been playing.
Man, I've been reading a dictionary all week and a thesaurus. Just learning all kinds of words. Just kidding. I'm playing. They are billions. There will be billions. There could potentially be billions. The name changes every time I think about it. There's zombies in it, I think.
It's they are billions. It's
Oh yeah. I'm looking at it right here. It
you
is.
wrote
They are
it
billions.
down.
I can confirm that. Yeah. Yeah. I can see the desktop thing right there. It is a man with maybe a man, maybe a zombie. I don't know. His eye patch.
Okay. Moving past that, what type of game is it?
Honestly, who fucking knows? It could be an RTS. Probably is. You put shit down. A train comes, gives you some dudes if you have buildings, and then you put some more shit down, get some more resources, build some dudes up, defend your town. I've only played 4 levels of it. I enjoy it. It's what I want the last spell to be, except for different.
What, easy?
Actually, died 4 times on the first level, just because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I also bought it at 2 a.m. Didn't read anything. I just went straight into it. The good way, the classic way to play games.
Yeah. Classic Dylan.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. I I don't know. I enjoy it. I'm gonna play more. I haven't unlocked a lot of stuff, so who knows? It could get more fun.
No one still knows what this game is at all.
Oh, you fight zombies. Okay. Yeah, it's RTS a zombie.
I'm kind of familiar with it. Like I haven't played it specifically, but a lot of like Dota streamers will like play, or like RTS streamers will play this game. Because it is very similar to an RTS, even though you're only playing against CPUs. It's basically like an endless wave kind of game.
Like tower defense.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
No
there are a lot.
Though.
There are some towers. But basically, you're trying to like build. It's kind of like you're building like a big city kind of thing. That give you upgraded units that have different abilities and powers, and you're trying to expand. I think you can set like how large the tile size is for the map itself, and then your goal is kind of to expand and take over the whole map. So that way, but like the whole time, like waves of zombies just keep pouring in, and then there's every so often there's like I forget what they're called in tower defense. Yeah, super wave. Yeah, and then you're just trying to fend it off. But like you have to like grow crops and for food and stuff like that for your villagers.
All right, the guy that didn't play the game.
Yeah, I look forward to buying this game in like 2 years when it's down to $5 because it's it's a deep cut sale for me.
It's what, $30?
Yeah, it was
it's a $30 game, right?
It was 10% off when I bought it.
It's $27
in my mind,
then.
Yeah, that seemed like it was time to jump on it, even though I had never heard of the game before. I just fucking did it.
Seems like a time to jump on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm having fun with it.
Good.
The other game I bought was also on sale. Early access, Black Skylands. I like the idea of it.
We don't know what the idea is.
A little bit.
We don't know what the idea of it is.
I have no idea.
Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. Let me tell you. Here's what I think. You're like a fucking pirate or some shit, and you can fly a ship around. You have a grappling hook. You can fly 2 guns so far.
Plane?
Is it 2D, top down?
Top down. Yep, definitely.
Jesus Christ.
it's like a StarCraft perspective.
And by ship, it's like a wooden fucking ship that you fly, like a plane,
like an airship.
It's fucking weird.
Thank you.
Yeah, like a blimp.
That's the word I needed.
Yeah, fucking weird game. It's
Dude,
cool.
We got a rough day with you today, man. It's like pulling teeth.
I can tell you about other games that I played more.
I don't know if I want. I want that.
That's okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah, that's about it for me.
All right, Aidan. Jesus.
Not too much new stuff. I was inspired by Falkner last week and finally doubled down on getting RimWorld because it seemed like I knew I'd play it at some point. Not too much to say. I played it for about an hour and a half, and about an hour of that was just trying to learn out how to actually play it.
Sure.
There's a lot to that game, boys.
Who knew?
I can see the potential, and I'm looking forward to delving deeper, but nothing of note has happened to me.
Is it solo
Got attacked by an angry squirrel.
Is that co-op?
Solo.
There's mods for co-op, but solo on the base.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know. I'll play some more.
I've played a lot of RimWorld. It's a good game.
I want to play it.
You know who to ask about it now. Berger.
I'm just gonna stumble around eventually.
That's fair.
That's the dream.
Yeah. Berger, what have you been playing?
I've been playing GTA RP on a server called 99 Problems. It's all right. It's just it's its own thing.
What's RP?
What are you RPing?
What?
Yeah.
So Dylan doesn't know what RP means, right? He's a new.
I know what RP means. Yeah.
I feel like you don't know much.
Okay, so I don't know. Basically, like the way it works is you just take Los Santos from GTA 5, and then people just run a bunch of custom scripts on top of it. And so basically, you fill the server with X number of people. Some number of people are cops. Everybody else is basically not cops. So people can choose to do like crime. They can work civilian jobs. Things like that. And the idea is that like you're taking it kind of seriously in terms of like you have a fear of death. So like it isn't just like a free for all kind of melee thing. Like people shouldn't just be shooting people for no reason. You're supposed to like obey traffic laws, or cops will come arrest you, or give you a ticket or whatever.
So what happens when you do die? Is there a permadeath thing, or you still respawn?
You'll like people. You can get like EMS, emergency medical services, and like the police can like take you to the hospital, so like you don't die. I know that like for communities like No Pixel, people have had like permadeaths because they want to complete like their character's storyline or stuff like that. Um, I don't know. Basically, I watched Summit play a lot of No Pixel, and I was like, I kind of want to goof around like Charles does on, or his character's name is Charles Johnson. He plays a cop, and then he also has Chawa, who's like a criminal, but he's mostly like a street racer. Just it's like a
He's
fun little
Dom.
community thing.
Yeah, part of the family.
Family. Yeah.
There's a person on the server that I'm playing on that calls himself Dominic Torpedo. It walks around saying it's about family and stuff like that.
I got to join his crew.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta join his family, you idiot. Was right there.
He's a criminal. I play Cletus Lapidus.
Nice.
Who's a cop character. This was
Hey, when you talk to people, do you come up with an accent and everything?
You can. I don't really, just because it's like too much work. Because like, if you do an accent, you always have to do the accent. Either that, or you're doing like a voice changer kind of thing, but that doesn't really do any good. Because like you don't want to like drop your character voice or anything like that. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I just want to hear Berger with
shitty role player
with a real Cletus accent. Imagine.
Yeah, it'd be funny. I don't know.
Moving on.
It'd be funny.
If you watch like No Pixel people, like yeah, some people have accents. I mean, Will Neff isn't exactly like a big No Pixel person, but he always like if you want to watch somebody who like RPs and does really good character work, Will Neff is a really good streamer for it. Because that guy operates at 11. Like he wakes up at an 11, and then proceeds to get crazier as the day goes on.
It's like Dylan. That's a Dylan.
Me too.
Point at yourself.
Dylan,
Yeah.
Dylan wakes up at an 11, but like with an operating skill of 1 sometimes.
Yep. Mine is there, just not ready to start yet.
All right. I haven't played any new games. I got nothing to chime in on that one. I've just been playing games with you guys.
You have been playing Apex and doing a good job this week,
Yeah,
so that should feel like a new game
job.
for you.
Yeah. That's true. You're right. We've been having some good fights. I've been winning like 2v1s and stuff like because we play a lot of duos because Aidan doesn't like to show up sometimes.
Yeah.
And really fucks up our ranking.
Hey man, we did sort of what we set out to do, except for not really.
No, not at all.
So yeah.
No?
We didn't hit diamond. We only made it to
That's
platinum.
true.
I go with silver, so fucking killing it.
Above and beyond.
Platinum is like a different kind of silver. They're basically the same color.
Yeah, sure.
Just a color fact.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing a lot of Apex. The season's pretty much over, right?
I think there's a week left.
Yeah, it's like a week left, and I'm not going to be able to play all week, so no chase.
There
for
is,
diamond.
I saw yesterday, there is a teaser for the next season. You get a free gun charm, so you should probably try to get that today.
You just have to log in?
No, you have to find it in the map, or in a game.
Well,
just on the ground.
That's not happening because I got to breaking everything down after this podcast, so.
I have an idea for you. Just don't do it and see what happens.
That's the plan.
Deal with it later.
That's not a good idea. And then we playing Gunfire. I played Gunfire with you guys. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. We've been enjoying that a lot.
Falkner and I, yesterday, we had... Aidan wasn't there for that, right?
No.
We had, like, potentially the best...
one.
Yeah, the best run ever.
Yeah,
we just killed everything immediately.
Stuff.
Yeah. We beat the final boss, the Hydra. What is that? Is that what he is? Like a sea monster Hydra?
It's a Hydra.
It's a Kraken. I don't know.
It's not a Kraken.
Definitely not a Kraken.
Yeah.
That one's just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, we killed him in 30 seconds, 20 seconds.
Yeah, maybe if that. We're just
Yeah.
chunking him so hard.
Generally feel like that boss must be bugged in some way because I feel like he does not do enough damage for it.
He
A
one-shot.
final boss.
He like will one-shot you every time if he
you're in
hits
that.
you.
Yeah, if you're in the thing.
Yeah.
As long as you dodge.
I feel like there's
it's weird.
sometimes where like I feel like I got hit, I take like a tiny bit of health, and it's just like I just got smacked by like a tentacle, and I took 10 health.
The one thing I feel like doesn't hurt is when he does the wave crash, where it's like a sweeping attack. That one I feel like doesn't ever do damage. It's generally the dashes where you have the red lines and stuff.
I can confirm that the sweeping attack does do damage. The first time we fought him, that killed me every single time he did it. So it does do damage.
Yeah, I mean, when I fought him, I had Feline Grace, so I was only taking 14%. So
what a good thing.
Yeah, and then I had the other one where you get lifesteal, and I was hitting so hard, like it'll just heal up whatever was hit. So I was like, yeah, whatever. So that could be part of it too. And I'm just not noticing my health bar getting chunked or anything.
You get those ones, get the thing that takes away your shield and turns it into health.
Yeah, dude. So good.
Amazing.
So much fun. Great game.
Yeah, we say it all the time. That's probably my sleeper game of the year, for sure, so far.
We'll see.
Yeah, I can't think of another one. This kind of came out of the blue.
Yep.
Cool. Let's get into the news. We're pretty much just going to talk about one big thing this week. Steam Deck. Or Stream Deck. Is it Stream Deck or Steam Deck?
It's Steam Deck.
It shouldn't be Steam Deck because of the well-established product in the gamer sphere called the Stream Deck.
It's very confusing. I keep saying Stream
very
Deck.
confusing.
Like I'll text it and I'm like, no, it's Steam. I gotta delete and go back.
Yeah. Best thing that I've heard about it is that it should have been called the Gabe Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Not the Gabe
That's
gear.
because Gabe,
or the Gabe gear
is the man. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Valve man.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the most non-PC gamer thing I've ever heard.
Yep. I mean,
Hey,
Dylan's just dipping in. Look, he bought a bunch of new games on Steam. He's getting into it, you know. Let's just go over the Steam Deck. Let's talk about what it is. Essentially, it is Valve's handheld PC, and they've explicitly stated that it is a PC, right? So you can install third-party software on there. Support if you wanted to. You can install Windows, and it's custom, right? So the processor is made by AMD. They worked with them using the RDNA?
Yeah,
so
RDNA 2 plus N2.
RDNA is the GPU. So it's a Zen 2 architecture. So it's around like AMD 3000 generation for the processor, 4-core, 8-thread processor, and then I think I forgot how many gigs of memory they said for the GPU.
I don't know. I know it's like 1.1 or 1.2 or something like that teraflops, which is much stronger than a Switch.
Yeah, I thought it was like 2 terabytes.
Not hard to beat.
Yeah, it's not hard to beat. I think it's comparable to like it's not as good as the Series X. It's like an Xbox One or a PS4 essentially.
One S, I think.
Yeah.
What I read.
Yeah. It looks really cool. Handheld. I think the controller setup is a little weird. It's got little trackpads.
I'm into the trackpads. I'm into the back buttons. It's just like the thumbsticks up here.
Super crunched up
right next to it. I feel kind of weird about.
I don't know it kind of has like the similar layout to the Wii U, the bigger iPad kind of thing, where it has like the thumbsticks are up at the top kind of stuff. Like it has a similar layout to that.
Yeah. It has 3 versions. We have the $400 model, which is 64 gigs of hard drive space. Everything else for all the lines is the same, except for the hard drive space. Then we have a $530 one at 256 gigs with an NVMe. And then we have a $650 for 512 gigs, also an NVMe. Oh, and it has like
yeah.
an
over
etched
the
glass.
exclusive Steam community profile bundle, huh?
And the keyboard, the virtual keyboard theme.
Yeah.
Like you
For
got to
this,
bundle something in, I guess.
Yeah.
for the middle of higher tier, it is important to point out that it is upgraded to an NVMe drive. I do believe that adding an NVMe drive is a user upgradable thing on the base version.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Gabe sent out an email about it to some dude.
yeah, like it's just like a standard thing, or it's using like it's like I think it's only like 30 millimeter size though, so it's like a shortened one. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think we were talking about it. We're all kind of on the fence of reserving it. I know Dylan was because he's like new to this world, PC world.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, it's
I
Steam.
did reserve it.
It's also
Yeah.
Steam, right? So we're like, are they going to keep supporting it? Kind
That's
of
my
thing,
big
right?
reservation. Every Steam product that is not a game, and even the games that I've seen them
Yeah,
do,
Valve
it
doesn't
just
make
seems like they
very
just
many
disappear.
games anymore.
Yeah.
Nope. But yeah, I
the
mean, just
index
the fact that you
has-
can install your own thing or OS on it. I realized if they don't support it. It's fine. Someone will.
Yeah, I think the community would support it or support something out of
Exactly.
it, right?
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with my index. I don't know. I liked the Steam controller in some ways. I don't know if the like motion sensitivity was the best for all controls. There's definitely a conversation to be had there, but it's not like they're Google or anything like that.
That's fair.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that it's somewhat like open, right, makes it the appeal, like Aidan was saying. If it was like closed
Yeah.
off, then definitely a lot more hesitation and pause. But if I can run indie games on this, which my intention is to mostly play indie games on this,
Yes.
I'm not that concerned.
It's a better Switch that can play a lot more games.
Yeah. And then
Yep.
Yeah.
you know the Steam library is going to be there. Like my
Yep.
big concern about the Switch is when they come out with whatever next variant of their console or new variant of their console is I have to have a new eShop. I got to buy everything again.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like my
Nintendo,
biggest
baby.
worry about Nintendo is that kind of lack of pro-consumer preservation, I guess.
Yeah, but
Well-
you get Mario, so it's cool, right?
Yeah. Well, that's like people are arguing this is a Switch killer. I was like, it's not even the same lane. It's like
No.
it's not even a direct competitor. Like they're on the same track, but they're not fighting for the lane.
Yeah. Similar, but like you're buying a Switch to
For
play
Nintendo
Nintendo
games.
IP.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And the Switch happened to have some indie games, so I happened to start playing indie games on my Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes, the Switch
Yeah.
just makes me want this more.
I mean, the thing that like, if we're trying to compare it to the Switch, like the Switch doesn't want anybody to have like, I don't know, fun with it. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like we've released this one thing, but like I don't know. Like I was excited for the Switch, but when Breath of the Wild came out, it was like, oh yeah, the game only runs good if you play it on the old Wii, like the Wii U or whatever. Like the frame rate of the original Breath of the Wild when it came out it would get stuttery in certain places, like if you're like loading in sites. Because I remember like watching the speedrun community, they were all on the Wii U for the longest time, in terms of running it just to like fix frame rate issues. But like I've been waiting for like Nintendo. Nintendo has this like mentality where it's like we know what you want, and we're gonna give you exactly what we know that you want. But like they don't listen to anybody. Like people have been asking for like a slightly upgraded Wii or version of the Switch since the original Switch came out. Because when the Switch came out, it was like using like an old SoC from Nvidia, and it's just like I don't know if this makes any sense, guys. But like it's definitely hit its market, but they don't. There's nothing like if you really care about like docking the Switch and like playing like a really nice looking image on the screen, like the Switch just doesn't get there for me. Whereas this is like, yeah, it has a much more updated graphics hardware solution, but it's one of those things where it's like because it's just like a USB-C dock, it's basically just like a little computer that you can take anywhere with you and just like throw on a monitor or something like that, and it just looks like it would run a lot better.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm too tired.
People get the Switch because they want to play Nintendo games at the end of the day, though, right? And you're not going to play
Yeah,
that
it's the only
anywhere
way.
else. Yeah.
Well,
I bought it
Sort of the
specifically
only way.
for Odyssey.
Well, yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like the only Nintendo game that I wanted, it was like, oh, it only makes sense to go and play it on the old console.
Yeah, it's fine now for the most part. And
it's
generally,
fine.
I mean, generally Nintendo games don't have too many issues compared to other consoles. Like when Nintendo makes their games, they're generally a lot more finished and
Yeah,
polished.
They're polished.
they-
I don't know
yeah.
if they still have a lot of issues.
Yeah. Well,
Just
a
in
lot of times they're
Nintendo
lacking
ways.
features, right? Like Mario
Yeah.
Party didn't get online till like what, a year, 2 years later.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. So that's like the most Nintendo thing they do. But people keep buying it, so there's nothing that incentivizes Nintendo to change their ways because they still have the number one selling console month over month.
it's kind of tragic, but I also get it. Like
So
mainstream Nintendo games are among the peak of gaming.
yeah, when it comes to polish, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a reason there's no other massive 3D platformers that I give a shit about.
So, but the Steam Deck's cool. They're going to come out with a dock. I'm sure the dock's going to be expensive, but you can get whatever USB-C dock system and just plug it in. It's like $20 on Amazon.
You could just use a USB-C cable, I thought.
Yeah, but if you
don't
want
need a dock,
you want to use a dock and then connect a keyboard and a mouse, you can do all that stuff. It supports
Yeah.
Bluetooth, right? So
That is a very cool thing that I will not take advantage of because I have a tiny apartment.
yeah, and I'm just going to use it for
What do you
handheld.
mean?
Yes, my TV is right here, so
But you could use
I could
Bluetooth
just sit at my PC
audio.
instead.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so like what you could do is like if there was something, say like you have your computer, but there's for some reason because like it's supposed to like share saves between your
Yeah.
Steam account, right? So it's supposed to have access to that cloud access. But let's
Mhm.
say for some reason it's not working per se. What you can do is like for your computer, you can plug like your monitors and keyboards and stuff into your computer, like dock it through there using your
Mhm.
USB-C cable, and then you could just like take that same cable and then just run it to your Steam Deck, and then just play off of the Steam Deck, and then you would have everything plugged into there. It'd be one cable that would get switched over.
Yeah, but he doesn't
Yeah,
need to
no,
because he can just
I
play on
follow
his
you.
PC.
I just don't.
I know. I'm just saying, like
it's
for
really
some
neat,
reason,
but
Yeah.
as a personal thing for my life,
Yeah.
I see no reason to get the dock.
Yeah.
Like even the Switch, I literally never use docked at this point.
Maybe if I traveled a lot, because I do have a portable
Yeah.
1080p monitor.
If you're a traveler,
Yeah.
fantastic, amazing.
But yeah,
I don't do that.
it's definitely been a handheld because there's definitely a lot of indie games on Steam that I'm like, man, I wish this was on Switch because I would love to play this handheld on
Almost
my couch
every single indie
Yeah.
game.
while watching TV. You know what I mean? Like, there's just like,
Yep.
yeah.
so that's pretty much my use is just indie games. So I think that's why like a 256 hard drive space is like adequate because those games are kind of not very big comparatively.
Like I'm not
You
playing
can-
Doom on this.
You
I'm
can
not playing
get
Call of
a.
Duty on this.
It does have
you can
gyro
upgrade the
control.
space.
Has gyro control. It
Yeah.
has like 2 motion sense pads. I think the screen is a touch screen.
Yep. Yeah, they're
I don't
saying
know.
there's a big hands-on. They're saying it runs like Control and Jedi Fallen Order stable enough at like medium high settings.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's kind of impressive. I can't imagine the battery will last very long. For those
It's
games.
on 2 to 4 hours, which is
Yeah.
kind of a big range.
Yeah. Well, they quoted like 2 to 8 hours depending on what you're doing, and then they
That's
said
an even bigger range.
Portal 2 at 30 frames is like 5 to 6 hours. Portal 2 is an older game too, you know.
Yeah.
So
It did come out after the first one, though, so not that old.
you're not wrong.
Thanks.
You're not wrong, buddy. I think it's really cool. I'm kind of interested to see what like third parties do to install. I know it's based on Linux. I really want Game Pass on Steam to integrate onto Steam.
Yeah, that'd be nice,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Yeah, so like Phil Spencer did make a tweet about congratulating Valve for doing it, saying Many of us are excited to be able to make our games, take our games with us wherever we decide to play, and I hope there's conversations associated with that because we've always wanted Game Pass on the Switch, which will never happen because we
Not
want a
now.
handheld way to play a lot of those games. So
If
I mean, Microsoft,
Go
they don't put like they don't have Game Pass on there now, but they have like most of their library
Mhm.
On Steam already, so it's more expensive that way. But like, yeah, it's like it doesn't seem like it's insane to see this kind of potential there.
yeah, that'd be cool because there's a lot of free indie games on Game Pass.
Yeah,
You know,
You see,
Yeah.
the one issue I see is unless they're opting away where you're like paying through Steam, there's no reason for Valve to add it.
yeah.
It just increases their cost and lowers the amount that they can sell. So
Now, there's one thing you can do is you can use browser with xCloud, right?
you also
Hmm?
could just install Windows. So 2 things.
You could do that, but that takes up hard drive space.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do it, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, but you can access your Game Pass through a browser now. You can play browser games or Game Pass through browser. And I don't know if that is just for the cloud gaming or is that the console streaming also.
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I know the app on my phone, I can stream from my console to my phone through the Wi-Fi, but I don't know. So that might be the initial workaround, right? At least.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's neat. You guys have anything
don't
else to
know.
add about it?
Uh,
Other than we all reserved it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to get it. So
We all reserved it.
I'll
so-
talk to you again in like a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing I would expand on is that it's using a Linux-based software, that's Steam OS. I forget what type of distribution it is off the top of my head, but basically, I don't know. Valve's said a lot of good things here, because basically, like the biggest issue with Linux for me is that you can't play esports titles really at the moment. On Linux because the layer that like anti-cheat software runs at, it's looking at it thinks that if you're like using Linux that you're using a bot basically because it doesn't match like the Windows profile. So they just don't have like the code expanded to like allow to like look at Linux because Linux would be very easy to
Manipulate?
virtualize like an environment. Well, just virtualize, so like you could have like a higher level and then inside of that would be the lower level that you play on that you'd possibly be able to cheat with. So like people are very hesitant to support Linux, but Valve's gone out of their way. They're like, yeah, we're working with these people to like get the anti-cheat more robust. We're going to be working on getting the Proton layer just out there, for making things that are typically only compatible with Windows run on Linux very well. It just seems like there's a lot of things that Valve are saying that if they deliver on, and usually like things that they say that they're gonna do, they're gonna do. It seems like I have no complaints with it.
Yeah, I just don't know how many people are actually going to be playing esport games on this device. Like,
Yep.
You know what I
Somebody
mean?
Like,
will.
I know there
Yeah.
people will be. I just don't know
Yeah.
like of that population of all the users that have
The
the
most
Steam
likely
Deck
play on a
are going to be
computer.
playing esports on it, right? Like, I'm kind of curious about the data on that.
I
Cool.
think GTA 5 has that anti-cheat, and that's the most popular game, or it's like on the top 3 of Steam or something like that. Because you can just plug a mouse and keyboard into this thing, like there's no reason why you couldn't play some Counter-Strike. I mean, Counter-Strike probably won't have an issue with Linux, but Rainbow Six Siege, that uses BattleEye from Ubisoft, so that's definitely gonna have issues with it. If you wanted to play like some scuffed PUBG, that also anything that uses BattleEye basically has an issue right now with Linux.
So no Tarkov.
Okay, that's fine.
No Tarkov, but that
Yeah,
not
I mean-
on the Steam library.
But you can
This just
install
shines
it.
a brighter light on that.
Yeah.
So
It's true. I could install it. I don't know. Yeah, think there's any kind of Linux community for Tarkov right now. But yeah, like things like I don't know, Path of Exile would be cool, like having a portable Path of Exile machine.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely a more. I know Path of Exile is not casual, but this is a more casual experience type machine.
I don't think there's no reason that it has to be.
That's fair.
Doesn't have to be.
But generally,
And
when you're playing handheld mode, like if you're playing in a handheld, you're generally not going to be playing anything seriously because you're gimping yourself in a serious environment, right?
Right. I mean, so I guess that's like if you're only thinking of it as a Switch replacement, that's correct. But this is right. But it isn't like just a potential Switch replacement for some people. It's literally like a $500 like gaming PC like you can just give to somebody, and it's like, hey, you can take this with you, or when you get home, if you want to like play League of Legends or something like that, like throw that shit in the dock and just connect it to a monitor, and like you can run Discord, you can do all these kind of apps with your friends. Imagine having a console with good Discord integration.
No shit, right?
Nobody wants that. What are they talking about?
It's crazy. It's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Fucking animals. One last thing. I think Valve did a good job trying to stop the scammers. Not scammers.
Yeah. It's better than what everyone else has done, right? So
they tried. They did something.
Yeah. When I went to reserve, I did get some like, we're busy. Hey, we're busy.
Yeah,
it took me a few tries to get my reservation in the morning.
It did take me a few tries, and then at one point it's like, no, you fucking idiot, your account's not old enough, even though it was definitely old enough. But then it worked right after that, so I can't hate.
I just forgot to do it for like a day or two, and then finally remembered and got it. So
yeah, I was a little late. It says like my reservation is Q2 right now, which is a little sad.
I didn't even read the thing. I just saw the receipt and I was like, all right, I'm in. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait.
Yeah, if you go back to the Steam store page, it'll give you like its estimate.
Oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. I have it reserved, so it's whatever now. Can't change it.
I'm still on the fence of actually going through with the purchase, so if I am in a further back section, then that's totally fine. I'd rather see if it actually bursts.
Yeah, you can see all the reviews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I love the marketing behind this because like the OLED came out for Switch, and then a week later they're like, everyone's disappointed with the Switch OLED, so let's just pump this out.
Yeah, which, on that note, I do wish it had a better screen.
You wish it had an OLED screen?
OLED screen, just better screen all around. I think it's 800p, so
I think it's smart to put it that though, because you're going to try to run these games at higher. You know, you want consistent frame rates and keeping the resolution to 720p at a handheld, which really doesn't matter. You know?
Yeah, I mean, this is purely a dumb thing for me because I live in a tiny apartment with good internet and a nice PC. So I know I'd be fine just doing game streaming from the PC. So it'd be nice if it looked real good.
I think it's going to look fine. Yeah, I think it's pretty negligible at that small screen size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, buddy. We'll see.
The human eye can only see 7 pixels at a time. So
shut up, Dad.
You'll be fine.
I think Nintendo failed to bring anything for the last 4 years that wasn't what they're already doing. And I think Valve has found a space potentially.
I don't think Nintendo failed. I think their pocketbook says otherwise.
Yeah.
No. I'm not saying that they aren't successful. What I'm saying is that they failed to really innovate anything. In the last 4 years, it looks like they've just kind of sat on their laurels. Because we put a new screen in the Switch, but that's not what people were really asking for. They were asking for something a little bit more robust, as far as I can tell. In terms of people who,
they're also 100% still looking for Switch 2 at this point.
Yeah, we're not getting a refresh. We're not getting a big refresh. We're getting a whole new console.
Fine, it's been long enough.
Yeah. Like they probably went and were like, do we need to do a full-on refresh, or can we just invest this money into a whole new console? And they're probably like, well, we'll just do. What's the cheapest? What's the minimal? Right? What's the minimum effective dose? Oh, we'll just increase the screen size, make it OLED, and do little things here and there, and that's it. And they're like, okay, this will just sustain us till a full console release.
Maybe. I was reading one theory that like Nintendo really likes to sit on their laurels when they're successful. Like in terms of the Wii, it was out there for a really long time before they even decided to do the Wii U. Then the Wii U was garbage, and they really quickly replaced it. They did like a similar thing with the 64 and the GameCube. It's depending on like what Nintendo does. If they're gonna act Nintendo, they might not do anything for a little bit while longer here until they actually have some kind of competitor in the space.
But at that time, they had the 3DS and I mean the whole DS line.
Yeah, it was killing it
to rest on too,
Yeah.
which is also destroying it on top.
Yeah,
of
they were killing
the
it with
Wii.
that line.
Yeah. Also, even when the GameCube and Wii U sold poorly, I would still say they were great products. Like outdated, but
defend the GameCube. Like there was one game on the GameCube.
there's a lot more than one game on the
GameCube had a
was-
handle.
Very
There was
worthwhile.
Resident Evil
handle.
4. There was only Resident Evil 4. That everything else was available on a different console that was worth playing.
Wind Waker. At the
Smash
time.
Bros, Wind Waker, Super Mario Sunshine. Like, if you don't like Nintendo IPs, it's not for you. But
Yeah.
if you do, those are all golden titles.
Yeah, I mean, you don't buy Nintendo consoles for third-party titles, right? You buy it for their first-party titles. And that's
You
what
buy
they
it
care
for
about,
Nintendo.
right? That's what they care about the most. At least in the console space, that's how they've done well.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think that the GameCube did that well, especially when you consider that the PS2 that came out before it just outperformed it the whole time. Like the GameCube was out there.
No, I agree. I don't think it did well. I think there are.
But
I don't like. I mean, like, yeah, I enjoyed Wind Waker. I enjoyed Melee, but like in terms of like, oh man, because third-party games are what really support stuff. Like, you can say that like, oh, only the Nintendo games that are really important. Like, yeah, having a Mario game is important to like get people in, but you guys all use it as like an indie game, like use the Switch as an indie game machine. That's like that third party thing is what really keeps you using it and giving Nintendo money. So like for the current business model that they run, you have to have that third party kind of thing out there. If they only sell one game every 3 months from first party titles, then Nintendo isn't making the money that they want to be making. That third party support that really encourages you to buy more, I think really becomes necessary.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know for the
disagree
Switch.
with you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Switch does so well with their first party titles.
yeah, like when the adoption rate for like Mario Kart is like 90+%, they're going to be fine.
Yeah. Right, because that's what's bringing people into the platform, and then you happen to play indie titles in between, right? You already got the console because of the first party titles, and then in between first party releases, you happen to play third party indie games.
Yeah, I didn't plan on the Switch being a third party.
Yeah,
but I think it is. They will need to have that going forward on whatever their next console is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or at least they should strive for it. They shouldn't just
they should
ignore it.
strive for that, but yeah, I don't think so, right? Like I bought a Switch because I wanted to play Breath of the Wild.
I don't know. In terms of like making money, like the way that the current gaming sphere is set up, you aren't making money making games. You're making money selling games. In terms of like the shops or whatever, like all the consoles take like a 30% cut. So and like like the first part, like massive adoption of first party games is huge. It's really good. I'm not saying that they're doing anything wrong here, but in terms of like, it's basically like the way it works out with third party games is like it's passive income, right? Like if you're PS4 or Xbox, like we made some really good first party games. It's great, but you know what our real moneymaker is? Being able to take a cut of those FIFA packs.
Yeah.
Sure.
Things like that. Like anything that gets sold on that store is where you're at. So like in terms of like a business model, Like,
I just don't think that's
The-
Nintendo's
you-
business model as much comparatively, like compared to
Yeah.
the other two. Like I don't think that's their big driver. Like at least it doesn't seem like they care about it nearly as much as the other console developers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's why they do the things the way they do, is because that's not the business model they're trying to chase.
I mean, in some ways, I would disagree though, because when you think about what Nintendo does try and sell you, they're trying to sell you peripherals. Like the big issue in terms of like, if I wanted to get a Switch right now, I'd be like, oh, yeah, the Switch would be cool. I would like to play it like the Nintendo games, but then you have the Joy-Con drifting issue. You, like, would you just get shitty peripherals that Nintendo gives you that don't work right? Like in term like they want you to buy more Joy-Cons, so they don't have an incentive to fix the issue. But then they're just giving you like a shit piece of hardware, and that disincentivizes me a little in that way. There's just like Nintendo charges $60 for their games, like 10 years later. Like not
Some games get a
being
$10 price increase.
Yeah. But
yeah, or
but
good yeah.
the problem is they can do that because people are willing to pay for it still.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, well, but
They
they
don't
but
just
they
choose
haven't
that number.
they haven't sold me a Switch. Like me
Yeah,
personally,
but you're not the target demographic either.
I 100% would be the target demographic. I was a big Nintendo fanboy growing up, and then somewhere around the stage of the Wii U, it just became like gimmick stuff and just things that weren't interesting or just like poor representation from Nintendo. Like Nintendo could have a bunch of sales from me, but they don't. But they just don't care.
Well, you're the
Yeah,
person
when-
that they're concerned about because
Yeah.
they got everyone else. Like I said,
Yeah,
you're not the target
everybody
demographic
else.
because they got everyone
Yeah.
else. You know, you're the minority
if
of
you
the
were the
people that
target
care about that stuff.
demographic-
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You would have one if you were the target.
Yeah. So
I don't think that a person who would be excited to play Nintendo IPs, I think, is their target, and I just don't think. I don't know. They like
just remember,
the reason I'm not their
they're
the
tracking
reason that
general
I'm not their
pops.
target. Right. Well, no. The reason why I'm not their target demographic is because I know more than the average person. Like
You care too
when
much.
a company when a company treats me poorly, I'm aware of that. People aren't really aware when Nintendo's treating them poorly until their Joy-Cons don't work and a class action lawsuit gets filed and Nintendo just kind of goes, "We're not going to fix it." But they don't care that they're in like an abusive shelter enough to notice it.
Yeah, because
So,
most people are just like, I'll just buy a new Joy-Con. That's
Yeah.
the thing, right? Like, because
Right.
you
Mhm.
care, and that's why you're not the target demographic because you care too much, right?
Right. And so
But most
like,
people don't care
what
that
I-
much.
Right, but like I feel bad for most people because they're just being used as props. Like my criticism of Nintendo isn't that they don't sometimes make good things. It's that they treat people like garbage and they act in very garbage ways and I wish better for people.
That's fair. Can't
Yeah, I
disagree
feel
with
you,
that.
but
Yeah,
capitalism, baby.
Yeah, Nintendo is a business.
and that's
Um,
Yeah,
And
like the only
I'm-
reason Xbox
I
being
just want
pro-consumer.
I just want Nintendo to do a better job at business. They are very
business
they're
is
doing-
booming.
business is
yeah,
good.
they're doing fine.
They're doing fine.
No. but I think that they could be doing even better.
Yeah, I think they're already
Yeah.
exceeding their projections as a business, right? When you're the number one console seller for 30 plus months straight, I think you're good. I think at that point you're like, all right, why would I need to do better if I'm doing the best? Right? It's like they're always chasing. So a lot of these companies, they follow.
That's an insanely stupid question, I think.
That's just how it is, though, right? Like they follow like a 80-20 rule. Like how much effort do I need to put in? If I put in 10% more effort, but it requires 3x more work, why would I do that when I already doing better than ever now?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Possibly. I think that it's very narrow. If what you're saying is 100% true, like 100% of their mentality, I think it seems possible that they'll just get rolled and smoked by like mobile in like the next 5 to 10 years.
It maybe it's possible because mobile space is growing, right? And as phones get better and better, that makes sense.
It's Yeah, I mean,
100%
I'm
agree with that. But
mobile space probably makes more money than Nintendo.
I would say the mobile space probably makes more money than
probably the most
console
out of
space.
anything.
Yeah, than the console space in general. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if these people aren't able to up their value proposition in a period of time, they're not going to be there in a little while.
Yeah, I would have to look at the data and see what the
look
crossover
at-
is between the mobile space and the console space, and I bet you there's a lot of crossover, to be honest. Where that's why it's not a concern for them, because they're not just worried about that market because it doesn't really impact their market too much because they have these first-party titles. Dylan?
I was just going to say, I think they're doing fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, on paper, they are doing fine.
Yeah. Like when you look at where they came from
after the Wii U.
After the Wii U. Like,
they're essentially the Apple of gaming companies. Even if you don't like them, they're doing fucking fine.
Yeah. So, I'm not too concerned.
Now, do I agree with you, Berger, and think that they should push the envelope a little bit more and be smart about it? I wish they would, yes.
Yeah. Objectively, you're right. You're 100% correct. But that's just not how things work, you know?
I don't think that there's anything I said that isn't how things work. Like, all I'm saying is that the company, I feel like Nintendo is looking very short-sightedly. They're doing a very bad job at sort of future-proofing their market and their market space. And I think it's just incredibly short-sighted.
Their future-proof is fucking
Mario.
It's a meme, Mario.
It's a meme, Mario. Yeah, it's a Zelda. You know what I mean? Like that's the future-proof because it's never going to be on anything else.
Yeah, I'll
even
pretty much
basically
buy
every time. Yeah. Sorry, after you, buddy.
They've cemented themselves in pop culture enough where it's they'll be there forever.
Fine either way.
Yeah.
Even if they have an off-console generation, the next one always comes back and shatters records.
Yeah. And they know to do handhelds. They know how to do handhelds. You know? And they
and a lot of people do play games.
I don't think that handheld market is going to be there in like 5 to 10 years.
I would disagree because mobile gaming does not replace that space.
Yeah. It's not the same.
I think it very easily could. I think it already is replacing that space.
They're trying, right?
Every Zoomer that uses Roadblocks is like a future customer that isn't going to play a Nintendo game, possibly. Like if you're just playing like shitty browser games on your phone, or playing Minecraft on your phone, you're essentially you aren't entering the headspace of children in the same way. Like in terms of like, I think it'd be interesting to look at their demographics, but I don't know what the adoption rate. I would imagine that the Switch is aging up in terms of its user adoption rate and is slowly losing its lower aged adoption rate.
That's because kids don't have money. Fuck them.
Also, as the person who is the youngest or interacts with the youngest people most frequently here, I can tell you it's still doing fine.
Hey man, I met a baby last week.
Okay, you beat me there. I mostly just talk to 17 and 18-year-olds, but
what are you doing with 17
multiple
and
people?
18-year-olds? You're weirdo. I know it's your job. I know.
Hiring.
You hire them. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's multiple people on my staff who aren't really gamers. They still have Switches. They still like Nintendo. Like, Nintendo properties are literally the most popular in the world for a reason.
Yoshi.
That's not the one I would have gone with, but
I don't know if I would say that they're the. Well, maybe they're the most popular in the world.
And
I think they're
Mario
the most easily recognizable. I think they're the most easily recognizable in the world, but the most popular would be Minecraft Steve.
I could see what you're going for there, but
Pokemon
is
I
massive
still
and huge
think Pikachu would beat it out.
Yeah.
In terms of worldwide recognizability, because Pokemon has had a longer time in the sun by comparison. But if you're looking for the single most bought like actual money was paid for a game, you're looking at Minecraft.
Yeah, but if you're looking for the game with the most Pokemon, you gotta go to Pokemon.
I guess. I
That's
don't.
a Nintendo thing.
I don't know in terms of the game model, like how excited people are for Pokemon still, because
Dude.
the newest one
I-
sucks shit according to everybody I know.
But still
They've
sold.
stuck shit
still
for
bought
like
it, yeah.
15
Still sold.
years, and they
Yeah.
still sell.
Yeah,
and
it's
break
still-
records.
Yeah.
It's-
And guess what?
it's
The one coming out this fall,
I'm
the
gonna buy the remake. Yeah,
100% selling. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It could be
I've
garbage, but
already-
it still sells.
yeah.
Right? So
I've been burned by every
I don't
Pokemon
know
game for the
how
past
long
like
that can
6
last.
years.
It just doesn't seem sustainable.
Hey man, they just add another 100 Pokemon. Maybe make them big this time. Maybe they change colors. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna be next time?
Yeah.
Pokemon will always sell. You know why?
it's cute. It's
You
so
gotta catch
cute.
them all. That's why.
Yeah,
They did
decades
it
of
right at the
marketing.
beginning. Yep.
Just doesn't seem sustainable. I don't know. I think Pokemon, to me, it feels like Pokemon's losing its mind
I
share.
mean,
a
we're
bit.
also older. We've grown up
Yeah.
with it, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a staple we've seen many iterations, but like I remember the first one in high school, right? So it's like, okay.
Whoa!
I don't.
Yeah. Oh man.
high school.
Yeah.
Hey man.
I was.
You want to
I was
the
in
Pokemon?
like second or third grade.
I'm that much older
Yeah.
than you guys. Right?
Yeah.
Like, just
My high school Pokemon was the one that's getting remade this year. So
yeah, and it transcends, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon came out when I was in high school. I'm still playing Pokemon now, and you guys are going to keep playing it, right? It's just not going to stop. Like I don't see it dwindling, and it being on a specific platform and you can't get it anywhere else. Like that just solidifies it more because it forces people into there.
Yeah, like there's a reason. Even as shitty as it was, Pokemon Go was just a worldwide event when it released.
Yeah, and people still
game,
spend a
I
lot of
fun.
money on it. Still,
Yeah,
people still.
Millions of people.
My wife is still plays it. Ask Dylan.
I send her a gift all the time. I'll do it right now, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while.
Right, like it's just one of those things. Let's move on. I think we've talked enough from Steam Deck and transition to Switch's sustainability. But last pieces of thing, we got some delays. Ghostwire Tokyo got delayed. Rider Republic and Rainbow Six Extraction. By the way, Rainbow Six Extraction looks like garbage. It is
Maybe
what I
not
wanted.
anymore. We'll
Yeah,
see.
maybe. Oh, look
Look
at
at
that.
that.
Wow.
I might
So,
catch
yeah,
it one
I mean-
try.
Yeah, they got delayed, and that's fine. It's whatever.
Respectable.
Get me.
Play it.
I'm excited for Ghostwire Tokyo. I think it looks really cool.
Right there with you, bud.
Yeah.
Last fun fact of the day, because I learned it like 20 minutes ago. Dylan and I went to the same high school as Gabe Newell, apparently.
That's Mr. Steam for you guys who don't know. Get fucked.
That's Mr.
Hey, look at us.
Steam. You guys should be getting
did
alumni Steam Decks.
I'll
Yeah.
send him an
Okay.
email.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
DM them.
I mean, maybe I'll just write in his yearbook, something that we can do since we
Yeah.
went to the same high school.
Gabe Boy and Gabe Gear, still the best names that it could have
Yeah.
possibly been.
I would have loved
It's
Game
insane
Gear
they didn't do it.
just because it looks
Yeah.
very similar
Game
to
Gear
one.
is cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
missed opportunity. Steam Deck, garbage name.
What would
Garbage
the Xbox handheld be called? X-Boy?
Yeah, X-Boy would be
X-Boy.
pretty good.
It's
With
fine.
an I, obviously. X-Boy.
Yeah,
Keep it hip and young.
Wait, how else do you spell boy, you fucking idiot?
Oh, you were putting you were spelling it BOI.
Yeah.
I thought you were like calling them Chinese, and it was like she boy, like XI boy, like
Oh, no.
call them Chinese.
No.
I like that more.
No. Yeah, that's good too, though.
No. Well, boys and
Very
girls,
worrying statement, though.
that is it for
For a second.
today. That's all for our episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Poke the things. What's up,
Check this
Dylan?
out.
Just an adult.
Faulkner?
I'm not
If
doing
there's
that.
any
Are you
audio
crazy?
only listeners,
Just chug this beer.
chug this beer.
You're a gross man today. Cheers, y'all.
Hey, man. Fuck you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.